Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the TJR Auto Channel. My name is Tyler, and in today's video, we are, once again, as per usual, fixing shit on Gwendolyn, the $900 GMC Silverado. Now, yes, there's plenty of things that I would like to do to this truck, but we got to do the things that we need to do first. And starting today's video off, that is going to be trying to address a very nasty noise that now comes from the front end when I take hard turns. Insert clip. With that kind of noise, I'm gonna take a bet and say that's the CV axles doing that clicking and whatnot. That's at least what I've heard. I've never had to change a CV axle or diagnose one before, so I don't really know. But when I first got this truck, I think it's the driver's side CV axle boot was actually, it's missing its metal clamp and it fell off of the hub, like on the back side of the wheel or the brake per se. Now that is the spot where the actual, I guess the CV joint is, where there's all the little weird teeth looking stuff. And that sucks, because I don't want to have to buy a set of axles for this. I'm sure I could get them for cheap, but regardless, I don't want to buy axles and change them if I don't have to. So lucky for me, past tense Tyler is helping out future tense Tyler for once in my life. And I already bought the cheapest CV axle boot clamp kit with the shitty tool off Amazon, because that's where I buy everything from nowadays. Because it's easy, and I have social anxiety and don't like going to stores to buy things in person. Now I will say there was always a weird kind of like binding-ish feeling issue taking really sharp turns in this truck, so I usually just don't crank the wheel all the way, and it never really gave me a problem before. Sometimes you get a random click here or there, but it was never anything serious, so I never really cared. But I've been meaning to take care of this boot for a while now, and I slid it back onto the hub and it hasn't fallen back off. But my concern is I don't know how long that was off for previous to me buying this truck, so there's just a good chance there's no grease left in that joint. The grease that's in there I already know looks like mud, so that's not ideal for lubrication. Yeah, but it literally just started making this noise today when I went to take the truck to work, so yeah. It's not great. I can't tell if the noise is coming from this side or this side. So what I want to start with is getting the front of the truck up in the air, wheels off the ground. Figure then we can crank the wheel back and forth, try spinning the wheels and seeing which one's making the noise, if not both. And then cleaning out the joints, packing the bitches with grease, probably the wrong way of doing things, and trying to use this tool that everybody online says sucks and doesn't work, and then going from there. A lot of creaking noises. That's what the Firestone guys were scared of. I'm not scared. All it means is things are moving. That's simply all that means. Whew. So one of the perks of this truck when I was looking at it and purchased it was the previous owner said that he did a whole new front end setup. New steering box, A-arms, forget if he said tie rods or not, even though this one's bent. Regardless, he said he put a whole new front end in it, and then he never aligned it for like 3,000 or 4,000 miles. The reason he never aligned it is because the alignment pins are broken on the passenger side upper A-arm. So you technically can't really align it unless you force an alignment upon it that makes any sense. But my guess for all that creaking that we just heard, all those lovely sex noises that Gwendolyn makes, is most likely from, he probably installed all the suspension, broke those alignment pins, and my guess is he probably tightened all of the bolts for, you know, bushing related spots. Probably did that with the truck off the ground like this without putting weight on the suspension. So my guess is every bushing is probably prematurely worn out, because when you do suspension work like this, you're supposed to put weight on all the components and then you tighten them into position where they're going to be resting. which would be with weight, you know, truck on the ground, weight on everything. That's my guess as to those noises, but I'm not gonna do a single thing about it. So now with the truck off the ground, funny enough, I don't even have to put the key in the ignition to turn the wheels because the steering wheel doesn't lock. So that's cool. So I don't know if it's gonna make the noises or not since we don't have load on the CVs, if that is what the noise is. But there's nothing else rotational that could really make a clicking noise like that. Nice, no noise. Oh, just had it. Yeah, let's see if the truck falls on my fucking head. Oh, something else. Unless it's that side. Oh, I see the problem. The passenger one is the one that the boot is not on, so not the driver's side. I might have said it was the passenger side. I honestly don't remember. But my guess is it's probably that. The boot did fall back off of it. I only spent about 3 seconds looking at it this morning. Oh yeah. That's kind of funny. I think the clicking noise is literally just, wow, this thing is leaking a fuck ton of oil. I think the clicking noise is the boot kind of snapping when it rotates a certain way. The truck's probably been parked in the spot for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And she leaves her mark, that's for sure. So here's our very dry CV joint. There's grease up there, no grease here. I'm assuming there's supposed to be grease everywhere. But take a listen to this noise. Tell me what you guys think. Well, you can still tell me what you think, but I'm not going to see it till after. So. I think that is our clicking noise I'm hearing, is the boot getting caught right where it's torn, go figure, and snapping back over the top. So I think that's the noise. The binding issue, I don't really know. I guess this could be related to it, but I doubt this is causing, like, you can feel that you need to give it more power to get through a full lock turn. So like I said, I usually just don't go full lock. Yeah, so I think the binding we're gonna ignore, and I think the CV situation, what I'll do is what every Joe Schmo on YouTube does, and I'll pull this boot back. I will spray the shit out of this thing with brake clean, rotate it a few times, probably back and forth as well, make sure we're clean, and then just smack it full of new grease. Try to rotate it a bunch, make sure we get grease everywhere, and then try to put a new boot on it. Now, or not a new boot, but a new clamp for the boot. Now, I don't have much faith in getting a clamp to really hold this thing good, just off the fact that it's already pretty fucked up. It's pretty torn up. This part of the boot's basically ripped and toast. So not much faith here. This is not very confidence inspiring, but at least I know the noise isn't anything major, I suppose. So let's get this thing cleaned up and see what we can do. So I'm gonna backtrack my thoughts here, as you guys always see me do. And I think what I'm gonna do is not brake clean this like I planned on and like flush everything out of this joint. The only reason I'm kind of scared to do that is on the small chance I can't get grease into every nook and cranny where there might currently be grease. I don't want to dry the joint out and potentially fuck it up any more than it already might be. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean all the nasty looking stuff that's easy to get to with some rags, and then pump this thing full of grease and hope and pray. Yeah, I'm about to bring a pillow out in this goddamn garage. My neck Hurts. Trying to keep it supported. I'm like a baby with no neck muscles, you know? Like how am I supposed to do this? Before I knew how grease guns worked, I have a tiny little grease gun, which I think I either threw out or lost because I don't know where it is. But this tube is too big to put into that grease gun. I didn't know how to load a grease gun or anything. So I took the lid off this thing and literally would just shovel it by hand into the grease gun. Ah, good times, good times. I don't even know what the hell I was using a grease gun for when I was like 15 years old. But I had one, and then I used it on stuff, but I don't really remember what. Yeah, so this is definitely going to be the finisher for this tube, because now I'm going to be getting nasty grease mixed into it, and blah, 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 blah. So is this the right grease? Probably not. Do I care? Nope. Nope, not at all. I've pulled out another excellent move of putting the truck down, and it's weight under this tire, which my jack wouldn't go high enough, so I had to use my mallet to beat this piece of wood under the tire, with that at full tilt, and then lower the truck down onto this, which it rolled back, and it's probably really close to rolling off. So I'm just gonna work on this side of the wheel and not that side of the wheel. Any hoosins though, we have cleaned the surface about 3% better than it was. And now we get to see how bad this tool that everybody bitches about online really is. And when I say that, I mean specifically people were complaining about it in the review section, but they all were like that. Whether I spent $1 or $2 more on it, it was the same kind of reviews. So they're all probably just the same tool. Now, people were saying they had to modify it to get it to grab the tangs better, which I could see. I mean, I guess how these work is, I thought it'd be more like a hose clamp where there was like a hole for this to go through. A little concerning that there's not, but I guess all you do is you throw it around, you put it into some tight hooked spots, and then you just crank the tool on this and it'll bite this, pull it tighter, and I guess it'll be good. This is really chintzy, so we're gonna see what happens. Keep pressure on it. Okay, let's crank her tight. Oh, the force of 1,000 moons. Oh, it grabbed. Oh, I think that worked. Look at that. I'm pushing it away from the hub. It's still on there. Oh. Well, see how many miles we get out of that before it fails. Oh. Yep, popped right off. Son of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie, I think I just did one of, if not the worst thing ever imaginable. So I don't want you guys to judge me in the comments. I don't want you to judge me mentally, all right? I want you guys to just see what I'm about to show you and totally forget about it. Can we all collectively agree to forget about this? Now, after seeing that, you guys might think differently about me, and don't worry, I'm thinking differently about myself as well after performing that. But the only thing I could think of, the only thing I could come up with was that. The one edge of the axle, CV axle boot thing, is so severely torn, the part that was basically grabbing the hub and then making that popping noise, that part. It's ripped beyond repair. At this point, it would definitely need a CV boot. I feel like at that point, you gotta take the axle apart to do that. You might as well just put a new axle in it and be done with it. Then you don't have to worry about like these cheap, shitty Amazon clamps failing or anything like that. So I figured a few wraps of duct tape and a clamp as tight as I could humanly make it might work. And I'm not even gonna test if it falls off. We're just gonna drive the truck and never look at that again. But I figure while the truck is still up in the air, just the front end's off the ground, there's something I've been debating on doing, and we're gonna try doing it, all right? I'm gonna pull an Edgar, and we're gonna crank the keys on this bitch. Now, yes, I know cranking keys is not an ideal way to lift your truck. I'm not gonna crank them basically till, like I'm not gonna max them out. I would like to see the front end of the truck sitting up a little bit higher, and I figure I already have a shitty alignment, so what's it gonna hurt? Now, talking about the alignment for a second, I was talking to my man Fred, shout out Fred, And basically, it's a thing on these trucks. He's an alignment tech, and it is a thing. It happens where the pin breaks that these little adjusters ride on. So right now, if I went to align this, there would be nothing for these to swivel on to actually keep it, I guess, reasonable. Apparently, you can loosen these nuts and bolts and basically, kind of kick the wheel into alignment, tighten them down, and kind of hope for the best. I don't trust myself doing that, so we're just going to live with positive camber for now. But I am going to get a set on order. There's a pretty neat company I saw in one of the Facebook groups for these trucks where it's almost like a nut and bolt design, but it's not a nut and bolt design. It retains these factory moon washer looking things and replaces broken ones. So we are gonna have to tear the A-arms out for that. It's not happening anytime soon, but I probably will order a set just so at some point we can actually align this thing and yeah, see how that goes. Also, can't tell, is that rust? I think my long tube's already getting rusty, man. How the f is that possible? I thought these things were stainless. Whoa. Whoa. What? Well, it's either mud that's staining it or somehow kind of rusting. Well, there's nothing I'm gonna do about it, but they still look pretty cool, so that's good. So let's see. Oh, that's gonna move easy. This is gonna be good. All right, Mark, how many turns do we think to go? The guy in the video I watched did 5 full turns on a already 6-inch lifted cat eye.
Was it too high?
No, but the thing is, he had different front suspension, so I don't know how it's going to equate. His was lifted just about 2 inches. I need roughly 2 inches, but if I go too tall, it's going to ride like shit because it's going to be on the bump stops in the front. Some people say if you don't go too crazy with it, but you do it enough, they ride totally fine still. This is very frowned upon what I'm doing. So maybe
Maybe like 4.5.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. We're just gonna f***ing do it, see what happens. So if we're here, so we can do it in half turns. That's 1, 2-ish, 3-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish, 6, 7, 8. So that's 4 full.
4 full.
And we'll do a half.
That's 9, 4.5.
All right, so nice. I was supposed to measure these before I did this, but I didn't.
But you didn't.
Now, they're basically just a bolt sticking out that I'm cranking on. So, is this one gonna be tough though? Oh God. Oh, now we're mid. Un. Dos. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot of things creaking. 8, 9. So that should be 4.5 on each. Let's see if she's any higher. See if she's. I'm actually kind of excited. Is that bad? Is that bad? I'm excited to do horrible things to my truck. Is it higher? That is definitely fucking sitting higher, for sure. So we were at about 37-ish. Oh God, yeah. This thing's definitely sitting up tall, for sure.
I don't remember what it looked like before.
So that was about an inch, almost an inch and a half raise on this side. Now, I don't know how much this will. You like that? You like that?
No.
Everything moves. Everything is independent of the truck.
Dude, that's gonna ride so hard.
Nah, that's fine. No, the creaking was already there.
No, you could barely move.
Oh, it was like that before.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately. So this side only moved about an inch. The other one moved about an inch and a half. So is it like noticeably crooked? I really can't tell. It's definitely sitting up taller though. There's definitely a bigger wheel gap. Like if you stood back and looked at this truck from like far away,
Yeah.
you could tell the front end was like super raked down.
Oh.
And it just killed me. I don't know. So I think I should lift it more. So I think the axle is bad. The boot came right back off. So we're trying to see if it'll fix itself, and I don't think it will. I don't think it's the front diff. I think it's the front passenger axle. Probably got ran out of grease. Shocker. And it's like binding. Gonna do it again? Come on, baby. Lock up on me. Put me in a tree. It literally just did it. Oh, heard it there. Watch this. Oh, wait, that's still neutral. 4x4. Oh, Jesus Christ. I dug that much of a rut? Fuck me. Oh, damn, that's pretty bad. I guess I should fix that. Well, I guess I'm going to fix the hole in the ground before I fix the axle situation. So Gwendolyn will sit in her hole of shame until then, I guess. I don't know. At least it looks kind of cool. I didn't think it spun that fucking bad. Well, there we go. 2 spots. Now, I think I might get a hernia doing that. Like my moves? Like my moves? Look at that. Never happened. Oh, wait.
You don't get this on any other channel, folks.
You really don't get this pure excellence anywhere else. This is what we call reality. And look at that. Boom, real time, fixed it. Yeah. No way. Try it again. Jesus. Try it again. Oh, nope, don't do that. All right, I just gave her a little snuggle up right there. See if it fixes it. Come on, Gemma. There she is. But yeah, have fun. Be safe.
I'll be right back.
Not gonna lie, that's the first time I've ever heard Gemma driven from like the outside by somebody else. That car sounds fucking sick, dude. Yup, there she is. See if he stalls it. Ah, he's got it. You guys let me know which car sounds better. That's actually a fucking tough one.
Well, folks, sent her a little too fucking hard.
Cheers to my new personal best of breaking 2 vehicles within 2 days. So as we figured out, this thing needs a set of front axles, and today's Tuesday. I'm filming this because 2 axles just showed up. I also may or may not have gotten some AC Delco sway bar end links for the front end. I figure it's one of those while you're in there. And then there's that sorry son of a bitch. She's still broken, and I'd like to fix this first because it's easier and cheaper to fix. And honestly, I don't know if I want to know the extent of the damage underneath that car. Went to hit a little 1-2, leaving my buddy Alex's house, and there was a 1, there was not a 2. I've personally never seen a drive shaft fail like that. I don't know if there was a stress fracture on it or what, but it tore the tube off of that back flange. So I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't know. As long as the transmission's okay, that's really all I care about. That's got a $4,000 Magnum F in it, so that would really suck if the trans somehow got hurt. I don't have a drive shaft loop on that car, but that is probably something I'm going to invest in if I don't go with the 2-piece drive shaft. But let's get the truck fixed first, and then we'll deal with Gemma the whore later on. So the power of the internet, I was assuming that to do a CV axle in one of these rigs, or really any of these kind of rigs, that you would have to tear the whole front end apart, you know, pop an upper ball joint or something to swing the spindle out. It turns out there's enough wiggle room with these that you can actually just swap it. You pull the tire, you put it up in the air, and you can just pull the axle. So I thought this was gonna be a lot worse. It probably is gonna suck, but we're gonna find out together how bad it is. And ironically, the center axle nut, this guy here that's definitely gonna be seized because I don't have dust covers, that's a 36mm nut. Usually, you don't have that in your tool collection. Ironically, I have one of those in my tool collection from when I did wheel bearings on my neighbor's Silverado. So it's a little loose fitting, but it's there. So that is a 36. That's what everybody online said it was, so hopefully it works good and works fine, and I don't want to kill myself by the end of this. Before I put the truck up in the air, I always like to break the lug nuts loose, and we might as well break the 36mm in the center loose since the truck is on the ground. We don't have to worry about rigging up a pry bar and the lug studs against the ground to fight us. So, and this actually breaks scary easily. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the other side was the same way. So yeah, at least we don't have to worry about that. Well, you guys probably can't see shit, but obviously the wheel is off. And now what I want to try to do is hit the back few 15 millimeter head bolts that bolt the CV axle to the front diff, I suppose that would be. So you can reach in here like this. Okay, that came out easier than I thought. Maybe this actually will not be that hard. Maybe Gwendolyn will be my saving grace. Okay, I spoke too soon. I bet you she'll break real easy now. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Just adding to my misery today, Gwendolyn. Just adding to the misery. Want to get out of the socket? Thank you, Mr. 15. Oh my God, wow, it's unbolted. Yay, finally. Now we can do this. Well, thankfully, at least that came off like it was supposed to. And the new one came with a new nut, so don't have to worry about that. We do need to give this a few tippy taps and not mushroom out the head of that. Well, ideally, not mushroom out the head of it. It's probably exactly what's going to happen. So in the video that I totally didn't watch, the guy used a really big punch. Now, I don't have a really big punch, but I have a small punch. If not, I have really big bolts I can use instead. Okay, you want to be stubborn? Okay, well, it moves. So that's good. Now, according to the internet, I should be able to basically just kind of swing this down and out like really easly. Oh, wow. No way it's that easy. There's no way. Oh my God. Oh, there's grease everywhere. Okay. It is out. It just got to muscle it up and out because my really big, totally not duct taped boot with grease all over it is just touching everything. I mean, really, I could unbolt the sway bar. If I unbolt the sway bar, I can get this out no problem. And I could put the new one in and then do the sway bar end link. That's probably the wave. I mean, this axle looks the same. I measured it. It's the same length. So hopefully it's the right axle, but we're about to find out shortly. So yeah, all right, let's pull the sway bar end link out since I have replacements anyways. And yeah, now you see why I didn't want to do this. It says grease. Totally not, because I greased it the other day and it came right apart. All right, looks like it's a 15 millimeter head on top of the end link. And of course it's a 16 millimeter on the bottom. Let's see. Okay, that's our bottom nut. That's bottom bushing. Oh, fucking, dude, there's just grease everywhere. This is miserable, like actually. Okay, and I can pull this whole section out, get the bolt out. I can throw it back together before I forget how it went. That bushing went there. This went here. Now, funny enough, this actually doesn't even look that bad. I thought these were in worse shape because I saw how the bushing was going around the washer. I think that's actually just the design of it. So maybe I'll save these, even though this bottom one is torn a little bit. I'll save these, and you know what? We're in here, we're replacing something. It's not the end of the world. It was literally 20 bucks for the AC Delco end links. And that's what sold me on them, is how cheap they were. And we should never have to worry about them again. So yeah, but now I can grab the axle and muscle it out. So here's our axle. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it is. It's just because it has no boot on it, but I don't know what this is supposed to sound like or be like, but I don't think it was working. So I'm gonna spend 20 minutes cleaning up all of this nasty grease everywhere, and I'll grab an axle, I'll grab an end link, should be able to slap it right back together. Actually wasn't that bad coming apart, so hopefully Gwendolyn's nice to me on the way back in. Oh. I might have just found out why the horn doesn't work. The hose is really loose off the canister looking thing. I should probably do something about that. You know the job's going good because I'm only on drink number 2 and we're at the reassembly stage. That's actually pretty good. All right, so this heavy ass axle is, let's see, comes pre-bundled on a styrofoam and whatnot. The rubber bands holding on this protective plastic. Let's pull that shit right the fuck off. One on the other. And I think I said earlier, but this does come with a new nut, which I think has the washer kind of built into it. So it's not a separate washer and nut, it's just one piece, you know? Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I anti-seized the living shit out of the threads since I don't have an outer dust cover and I'm not going to remember to buy one. I'll try, but I'm probably not going to remember to buy any. So now, we get the fun part of just getting her in. Oh, that was quick. Okay, snake this end in. They can match up. Oh, wow. Well, that was really easy, guys. I feel like there's supposed to be a catch to this. Now, I don't know. I feel like I should put a dabble of Loctite on everything, because I'm a little concerned. This is the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon that would get here within a day, and of course they showed up in 2 days. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab some Loctite just to play it safe, But a little dabble of the only Loctite I have around shouldn't hurt anybody. So we'll just throw a dibble dabble, nothing crazy. That's actually in too far. Right there is enough. No, yeah, we'll spread it around. Yeah, okay, that's plenty. That's probably too much. But you know what? You can't say I didn't try. So we'll just kind of get that there so it's not, it can't fall out. And I suppose the back ones I should probably do as well. It probably won't hurt. So just do a little, just a touch, the tiniest bit. I don't want these things to be impossible to get out in the future. I also don't want them to fucking fall out. So, fine line we gotta ride, folks. Fine line we gotta ride. If anybody's wondering, these are the Cardone brand. Can't say, oh, no, that's my flashlight. Let's not do that. Can't say I do or don't recommend them yet, as obviously it's not even installed yet. But so far, it seems to be fitting as it should, and nothing seems to piss me off yet about it. So that I like. I'm just curious what you guys think. Might as well have a little chit chat while we're sitting here. Well, while I'm sitting here, and I guess you guys are sitting or standing. It'd probably be a little weird if you're standing watching this. So I hope you're sitting. So I may or may not have went to a like a pet place, look at a new dog. Well, new to me dog, but was somebody else's dog that is no longer their dog. Went there with my gal pal Audrey. We're both 23 years older. I'm 23, she's 22, something like that. And we showed up, filled out the paperwork, and then they said, oh, if you're not the homeowner, we can't show you the dog. So you mean to tell me I drove 45 minutes, right? and I can't even physically see the dog that I am interested in, okay? When this chick brought up that I'm not a homeowner, I literally stood up and walked the fuck out. I didn't even say anything. I said, okay, and I left. Now, some might say that's over dramatic, but it really pissed me the fuck off. I'm honestly still very livid about it. I honestly don't, part of me doesn't even want the dog just because of how much this place has pissed me off. And this isn't the first time this place has done this to me. When I got Carmela, my currently 3-year-old, I'm gonna say for insurance reasons, allegedly, maybe potentially, off-road use only, pity mix, I got her from there about 2.5, 3 years ago-ish, something of that nature. Now, when I went there, I was 20 years old, okay? I wasn't even 21 yet. We walked in, filled out the paperwork, walked around, looked at the dogs, because at that time they had let you walk around and at least see the dogs. You just couldn't take them out and play with them if you weren't playing by their rules. And when I went there that first time, they had said, oh, we can't let you in a room with the dog to play with to see if you like it or not, because you're under 21. Now that one makes a little more sense, but I don't understand why you can't at least play with the dog. If they can read you, right? I feel like they're probably good people readers, okay? If they can read you and they can see that you're actually interested in taking an animal home, like you are actually interested in the act of saving an animal and giving it a forever home, giving it love for the rest of its life, okay? Which obviously I am. Then you would think that they would at least let you interact with the dog so that you can come back later that day or the next day with the homeowner to fucking buy the dog and bring it home. Like what kind of shit is that? Okay, I get it that they don't want to waste their time with people just playing with animals and stuff. Like I get that. Make me put a deposit down to go see the dog. Like I don't care, that's fine. But the fact that I can't see the dog unless like I'm essentially ready to bring it home, it's just utter bullshit. I don't know. I'm still pissed about it. I'm livid. I almost didn't want to work on the truck tonight because I did that today. I dealt with this shit today before the parts even came. It's rough. I don't know. I'm pissed. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I need to drink more alcohol, and I don't know anymore. I don't know. Let me know down below though what you guys think. I think it's a crock of shit, personally. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, let's get the rest of this thing installed. So I'll put that on partially. I would like to get the back ones seated all the way and then potentially crank this front one on. Now, oh, I just crushed my fucking finger on the caliper. Oh, I'm fucking pissed. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking scream. Ooh, that's gonna turn purple. Oh, fuck, dude. It feels like I just put it in a fire pit. Okay, you know how when you hurt yourself and it's on fire? Yeah, that's that right now. Be a big boy, be a big boy. Trying to be a big boy, people, and I can't because I crushed it between the caliper bracket and the fucking rotor like an idiot. Okay. Well, it's not binding up anymore now that it's tight, but oh, I almost just fucking did it again, bro. Holy shit. Well, this is gonna be 150 bones to the dome. It clicked, so I'm gonna call that good. I guess I can torque the back ones because we're already here. Might as fucking well. Case of the might as wells. These are probably fine, but I have the torque specs, so doesn't hurt to check them. I guess. Okay, well, there you go, guys. That's how you change an axle on a GMT 800. I don't know. Well, after a frustrating few more minutes, I'll just call it, I put the original sway bar end links back on because those fucking AC Delco ones do not fit for fucking shit. So I'm gonna return them for my 20 fucking bones back. I'm very fucking aggravated, as you guys can probably tell. It is what it is, but just pulling the truck out of the garage, letting it warm up so we can go on a test ride. cut the wheel back and forth, hard locks, and it feels as smoother than it's ever been. So we're gonna go for a ride, put a mile or two on it, take some sharp turns, go to a parking lot, do some figure eights, tight circles, make sure it's fixed. Also, I checked the front diff fluid while I was doing the driver's side axle, and it is full to the brim of very clean gear oil. So I don't think we have, hopefully we don't have a diff issue. Hopefully it was just the axle. Again, just pulling out of the garage, it feels a hell of a lot different. So I got faith that we actually fixed it for once. So even just taking the hard right turn out of my driveway, it bound before. Hard right turn, that is the best it's ever felt. All right, well, that gives me some confidence, I guess. And driving normal, I don't know, feels fine. So I guess that's good. Let's go to a parking lot and do some tight turns and see what we got. All right, I took like 2 more sharp right turns at full lock and I had 0 binding. So let's just confirm a left is good. That's all the way. That's smooth as butter. So I think we're good. I'm gonna call it fixed. So that's good, I guess. One silver lining to this week so far. The truck is back. You can't fucking kill Gwendolyn. The $900 GMC Silverado, or the Chevy Sierra, or the Abomination with cranked keys, which I still think it looks better. I will say I don't think the cranked keys like killed the axle or anything. I ironically cranked the keys and then decided to say that the axle was bad, even though we were trying to diagnose the axle noise. Here, another left turn. Let's go full lock left. Oh yeah, she's min. She's min. Here, we'll go full lock right on this one. Look at this, guys. Uncut, so you guys know I'm a real G. All right, full lock. Yeah, there's no. All right, that was a full lock. It was enough that it would have bound or clicked or something. It's probably the quietest the front end's ever been since I got it. It feels very smooth, I will say. So I guess that's good. Yeah, we'll do another full left turn for you haters at home. And swing her like a semi. Yeah, she's good. See? Listen to those fucking long tubes. Oh yeah, she's fixed. Alrighty guys, well that is where we're going to be wrapping up today's video. Within the span of 2 days, I killed 2 cars. Well, 2 vehicles of mine. Not ideal, but at least we got this one fixed and back on the road. The GTO is going to be a different story. That's a whole nother day of tearing down and seeing what else is broken. Hopefully nothing else is broken. I know the exhaust definitely took a beating and it sounded like the floor of the car did as well. So that's going to be a fun bridge to cross. But on the plus side, at least the truck is back on the road and back to being a daily. It's now kind of lifted more, I guess. And rides just as shitty as it did before. But took it up and down the highway yesterday because I may or may not have actually brought home a 3rd puppy. So we did end up rescuing a 1-year-old doggy named Espresso, which I think we're renaming her Callie. So far so good with her. She seems to be good, but she hasn't fully really met Carmela and Fritz yet, which are my other dogs. Shout out to any OG viewers that remember when Carmela was like this big. That's how big she was when I started the channel. Now she is 3 years old and 70 pounds. So anyways, I have my plate full right now dealing with the fur babies. So the GTO can kind of just cool herself down in her corner. That's her timeout spot. Sorry for the lack of enthusiasm. I'm just totally drained. As you could probably tell by now, this shit it gets to you eventually. So I'm just here, all right? I'm just breathing. I'm just living like Larry. But anyways, that is where I gotta wrap up today's video. I need to start getting this video together for you guys tomorrow. I also may or may not have gotten conned into doing some side jobs because your boy needs money. So yeah, Yeah, I'm a very busy boy, as they say. Anywho, with all that out of the way, if you guys want to help the channel out more than you already do, down below will be a link to some TJR Auto merch. Ironically, I am not wearing it because I'm filming this right after I got home from work. But as I always say, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it. I love each and every one of you, and we'll see you guys next time.